Hi, and welcome to Tarot Time. Whether you're watching live or as a video, we love you and welcome you. So today on Tarot Time, what we do is we work on picking up on the energies of the coming week to help you to be prepared, empowered, and to make informed and good decisions in your life. So we may pick up on things that you could resonate with personally, or things that are going on in the world around us, in this changing world around us, where the old is collapsing and soon a new is going to start to be rebuilt in its place. The two kind of overlap. So a lot of what we do on Tarot Time, well, let me back up a second. Hi, everybody. I'll get to the comments in a second, but what we do a meditation card. So what's the energies to work on in your spiritual work for the week? We do a tarot spread. Then I've got other divination tools also. But Sunday morning tarot times also our community hour. So I will be looking at your comments, maybe posting some of your comments, engaging in some conversation. So we talk a lot about what's going on and stuff like that, even before we dive into the tarot. So, this is kind of like a Sunday morning, like coffee house hour, basically, like a bunch of friends getting together who are intelligent and intuitive, kicking around what's going on in the world, the the climate, the weather, the geology, the politics, and all that stuff. So before I dive in, let me just put my glasses on and say a few quick hellos. Hello, Gail. Good morning. And if anybody's new and you want to say who you are, where in this big wide world you are in right now or at right now, yep, please feel free. So, hello, Chloe, Mr. Floyd, Suzette, Play Love, again, Gail, Chloe, Rose, hi, Laura, hi, Yvonne. So Suzette again, hey, Millie, hey, Lisa, hey, Mary, Katie, welcome, hi, Heen. Adair, you've been having quite the conversation without me, apparently. I don't think I'm that late. Wow. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Karen, or Care. And if I miss anybody, I apologize. I don't want anyone to feel left out. Anyway, I got a few things that we can just kind of. Hello, Michael. A couple things we can toss around. Certainly, Zelensky's been in the news a lot after a pretty eventful meeting at the White House. My question about that is, why was that televised? Meetings, that are about war, national security, they don't get televised. They don't get pushed out into the media. By the way, I've heard, although, again, a lot of our information streams are corrupt, mainstream news, and a lot of even some of our favorite off-grid news feed, whether it's on YouTube or whatever, can be corrupt. But I did hear that that there's been talk about Zelensky's impeachment since the debacle in the White House. Now, again, why was it televised? To me, it appeared to be a show, and my opinion. But the media's job is to direct the attention of the public, to direct a certain narrative, and to distract people from other narratives or whatever. So that to me just seemed pretty strange. Then there's this. I was going to say something, and then the Gene Hackman murder. That's what popped up in my mind. Does anybody know about that? Was there foul play? So I didn't know what to make of that, and I'm just going to talk about Gene Hackman and spirits of the Gene Hackman murder. So we'll see what comes out with that. The next thing that I had on my little list was things like the Epstein files, like the corruption that's being exposed. To me, that's all show. Also, that's very underwhelming. I don't think anything, at least what I've seen in the news, like with the JFK and all that stuff, I don't think anything's come out that hasn't come out before yet. So that might be for show also. I think the real corruption will come out. when it comes to the Epstein list or whatever, is there really an Epstein list? Well, there is, because there's a client, and there's conversation and stuff like that. Now, if some of you that have been following, my predictions or whatever through the months and the years, you might remember that I forecast more of a disclosure on that in September, not in February, with the Epstein. And I don't think it's ever going to be fully disclosed, to be quite honest. I think it's too damning and for too many people. But as I'm saying that, I feel like Spirit's saying, no, it's going to get infiltrated, and we're going to have a lot more information. It may not be fully exposed, but we'll get the gist of it and what's behind it. So there's that. Also, lots of solar flares. I think the solar poles are flipping right now. So what do you guys have to say about all this before I move on? His pacemaker stopped? What the heck? Oh, is that Gene Hackman? So his pacemaker stopped would explain why his wife died also. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's what you're talking about. I love Gene Hackman too. Great actor, yeah. Oh, you met him. Nice. Love Gene Hackman. Yeah, French Connection was very impactful to me when I was in high school. Yeah, and a lot of his other movies. And Mary saying, we know he was murdered, but why? That's why I wrote that in my notes. Why was he murdered? Does he have connections? Does he have information? Did he speak out? Is he a whistleblower? Or is it just some weird ass crime that somebody just wanted to kill a celebrity or rob his house? What is that? We know he was murdered, but why? I think he got caught up in something. I heard from others that it's about the property that's interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. And Laura's saying that I read there's a meeting in private before the press conference. We'd like to know exactly what happened in that. His pacemaker stopped in 217. All right. Oh, so his so Christine and you're saying maybe it was more of an accidental thing, that the wife died, and that he got so upset maybe that his pacemaker stopped. I mean, until we know, all possibilities are on the table, right? So and Yvonne saying foul play, definitely. And also Mr. Floyd, foul play, definitely. All right, weird. Nice work with him. Oh, okay. Well, I heard something similar. I heard that there was, I don't know if it was an apology, but there was a thank you. That's what I heard. That thanking the U.S. government and for the talks and everything. I mean, one thing that I don't appreciate, I try to suspend judgment with Trump and everything, just so that I can take it in, without bias. But I just don't like that energy of bullying. It's a personal thing. It may not have anything to do. I was a small kid with a big mouth growing up. I got into a lot of fights. People tried to bully me. I fought back. I just don't like the energy of bullying and that kind of pressure that I see from Donald Trump. And not just in that, in a lot of situations, and the other thing is Canada ain't going to be the 51st state. And I think what's going on, again, I think a lot of it's show. I think it's setting up some agenda that's coming down the road, in March, April, I want to say. um and the tariffs, they may go into effect to some degree, but the whole pressure against Canada, like our I'm an American, and Canada's been our strongest allies, our biggest trade partners. What this is doing, what I'm seeing anyway, it's creating more sovereignty, more strength and resilience in Canada, basically. But anyway, so you met Mr. Johansson, very nice. Will die for his country and others, and I don't think Trump would. Interesting, yeah. There's a setup. Putin wanted it that way. Interesting. You guys, thanks for all your intelligent comments and thoughts. Yeah. I definitely appreciate you what you guys are saying and what you guys are adding. And if I missed your comments, I just can't see everything and post everything. But so on that note, I'm going to get into some tarot now, or just a moment. Um, we've been on 10 and 11, 11, 11. Incidentally, I have another upload coming out at 12:12. And this is the channel messages. So I got it's a short video about channel messages about March this month, what's going on, and things that we need to do. So it's from the master teacher. So I thought that was a strong and beautiful message. So I decided to make a separate video on that and post it. Yesterday, I posted the condensed version of the March 2025 forecast. For those that don't necessarily want to sit through a 90-minute live stream where we go into a lot of detail and a conversation about a lot of different things. And in this video, it's 25 different points and prediction, one right after another. Not a lot of commentary from my end. So if you like that style better, I got that out for you. Just 16 minutes. These angel numbers are wonderful. I'm probably going to do another 11:11 video. I haven't done one of those for a while. I do those as short form videos, and next week I'll get back to my daily tarot readings on the shorts. Also, I so busy with all the live streams with because March is a huge month, and we're coming into now. March and April, both huge months of change. So I devoted a lot of time to try to get the best information out there on the live streams. Plus, a lot of you know that my brother recently passed, so that's a lot of work also, dealing with things like that as well. So lots going on, and of course I'm busy as a psychic medium too. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So let's do a meditation card now for the week ahead. So meditating with tarot. I mean, you can meditate however the heck you want, but what I recommend is like any other meditation, you get very relaxed and presence and working with the heart are the mantras around here. So I when I meditate, I like to get so present that I transcend my physical, that I'm no longer a name or body, that I'm energy, which is what I truly am, and align with divine source and spirit. So I try to expand my fields that way and open my heart to gratitude. That opens me up to higher frequencies. So I like to do that. And then I just step into the tarot card. So I clear my mind. I'm very open at heart, so I can feel the subtle energy flows through me. Then when I step into the card, the energy changes. So I gaze that, not trying to read it or judge it or measure, because that just pulls you back into your personal mind, but rather just be aware. What am I feeling? Maybe I'm smelling, tasting, I'm hearing sounds or notes. So that I call that energy discernment, feeling expansive, contracted. So I step into the card and just see what I pick up on, what messages, what do I see, and that kind of a thing. So on that note, let's pull one. This is where I will clear my mind again so that spirit can guide my hand. Okay. Got it. Interesting. So who's feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that's been working really hard, that needs a little bit of a break? That seven of Pentacles is a harvest. It's a building card leading to the harvest, basically. But again, step into the card. Maybe this figure is a message for you. You may see so much more, because this is just the very narrow doorway into a whole panoramic picture that you're stepping into, a multi-dimensional reality that you're stepping into. And you may meet guides and angels and get messages and insights. Because it's 7 and because it's Pentacles, part of the message that I feel that may resonate with you is 7 is more about intuition. It's Neptune energy, but Pentacles is about Earth. So you may get some insight into how to really apply your intuition and your feeling to make a difference in your practical life, including your financial life, your job, your business, your home, family, and stuff like that. So that's what I get. And I feel like Spirit's saying, hang in there. A lot of people, especially those that are more democratic leaning or more left leaning, are going through a lot right now. And whatever your beliefs are, just as a public service announcement or whatever, we're all human beings. Let's at least be compassionate to the other side, not criticize them, not feel like that they're destroying the country and the world and stuff like that, because that's what they want us to believe. Whatever happens, and we can take what I know about Canada as a model, that Canada feeling threatened. Oh, 51st state, cutting off supply, 25% tariff. What are they doing? I mean, I don't know what every citizen is doing, but what I'm seeing is that they're not having a pity party. They're coming together, coming up with strategies to deal with this, because they don't want to lose the United States alliance. But at the same time, they want to send a message like, we have alternatives. There's other things that we can do if we don't like what you're doing. So I don't know what got me started on that soapbox, but I think there's some continuity for the card that I pulled. But anyway, yeah. So the thing is, the idea is we want to come together. We don't have to agree with the other person. We can kindly express our points of view that this situation may be detrimental to these people, like people on Medicaid, that kind of a thing. We can point that out basically, but let's not hate on the other side. We're all programmed to greater or lesser degree. We need to transcend that programming and understand that there's a common enemy. And I say this a lot. This is my belief, my opinion, but it's it feels like an intuitive knowing also, that there's a higher authority. The right and the left are more of a show than anything. They're two different ideologies. Yes, they're two different schools of thoughts. I get that. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want a fair government. We want everybody to be safe. We want to be empowered. And we want to grow spiritually. We want to grow as human beings, as a nation, as a world community. So that's their message through me. Somehow this card precipitated that. Venus is retrograde. I meant to mention that also, that Venus just went retrograde. I'm a Libran. Us scale people really don't appreciate Venus retrogrades. If you're a Taurus, you might be feeling it also. But yeah, Venus is retrograde. So thank you, Laura. Be kind and patient. That's a good. Love is always the way. Yes, love is always the way. Oligarchs are not being fair to both sides. Good point. Yeah, we don't want an oligarchy. Is that the right way? It's and I said this in the live stream too. Free speech. Yeah, that's our constitutional rights, but do we really have free speech, especially when a lot of our voices go through an algorithm on social media that is designed to promote certain agendas while squashing others, or certain ideologies or thoughts, and people get shut up, people get cut out, YouTube channels get shut down, people lose their Facebook account just for saying what's on their mind, basically. Anyway, good point. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you, Mr. Floyd. There are two cabals running the planet. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And I've been feeling very similar. We are now under the other cabal. Gratefully, the current cabal in charge doesn't want to kill you. Oh, all right. By the way, yeah, check out Mr. Floyd's channeling, for more community and channeling and more insight. And anybody that has a YouTube channel, we're a community here. We go to each other's channels. Though Adam's been super busy, so you haven't seen me on your channels a heck of a lot, I know. But a lot of you have channels. You share a lot of amazing things. please post your channels on the chat so people will know where, how to find you and to like you. And because Jared is anon of the Who the channel, I'll just shout out his channel because I'm a yogi, he's a yogi. He shares a lot of amazing energy and wisdom from the Vedic perspective, and does the fire homos every 2 weeks and other channeling and other things. So that's called Who underscore the. It's not easy to find because you're probably going to get the Who if you keyword it. But anyway, you're tired of just watching me. Yeah. Yeah. So what's hi, Pauline, by the way? What are you saying? During my retrograde. Yeah, so maybe the Venus retrograde is developing the relationship with yourself, right? Because retrogrades go more inward, they're more internal, right? So that's an excellent perspective. Thank you so much. And tonight, live at 7 p.m. for Pacific with Blindly Inspired, Krista, who also frequents the Medium channel and does amazing work with Eastern types of mysticism, Taoism, Feng Shui, I Ching, and all that kind of stuff. And being a martial artist, studying Eastern philosophies, that rings in my heart. Also, healing to a lot, Yolanda. Yes, healing to everybody. I'm not going to even get into like what's going on of how the energies and the pollutions and all the stuff is really working overtime to try to make people more sick and feeding the pharmaceutical companies in lead of mRNA cancer vaccines using AI technology. I'm not saying there's a link. Of course, we honor the medical profession here, absolutely. But it is interesting to note that cancer has been very much on the rise lately, from what I understand, and lead to these therapies that will be very expensive. Doesn't mean that one has anything to do with the other, right? Just coincidence, of course. So let's do a 3-card. So Jared did 2 Shiva channel, and you know what? I have not seen either of them, and I want to catch up with both of them, to be honest. What is Who? Awesome band. Who? Not the Who, not Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, a different band, HU. Interesting. We love our music around here also. For people that are new, sometimes we get into conversation about music and band. We love our music here. The pocket of, there's always been like cancer pockets or things like that. I'm so sorry for your loss, by the way. But it just seems like, and this would be the pattern in the style. I'll just put it that way. I mean, it's all circumstantial until it's proven. But this would be the style. They're both from Mongolia. Wow. Who does throat singing? I credit the master teachers. That's the group that I channel. A lot of you come on when I do my toning and light language. I credit them for teaching me how to sing. I mean, I could always carry a tune, and I'll never be the next Freddie Mercury, but obviously, but I credit them with teaching me how to sing. And when I chant, it's almost like there's almost like a vibrato in my voice, and I'm like, wow, thank you. I love singing. And Yogi Bhajan, one of his quotes, the bringer of Kundalini Yoga to the West, and the channeler of Guru Ram Das, an Indian Sikh. One of his quotes is, "The most healing sound in the universe is the sound of your own voice singing or chanting. So sing and chant, do it more. Those vibrations help to heal your body and help to align your energetic fields, helps to clear some of this electromagnetic energy that we're subject to all day. We're in this toxic field of electromagnetic radiation. But you know what? A few minutes in nature, toning, deep breathing, and especially important, working with the heart frequencies that'll rebuild your field. So just to know that there's ways of dealing with it. All right, 3-card spread. Let's see, we bumped up a few people. Welcome to the new people. We've already covered a lot of great information, so when we're done, you can check out the beginning if you want. If you want. All right. Thank you, Anana. Let me get a couple more of your comments on. Yeah. Right? Humming, right? 3-card Monty. Yeah, here's my 3-card Monty. Yeah. And MDR hosting, regardless of vocation. Freddie is amazing. He wasn't only great, he's versatile. Like he could do an excellent falsetto. He could rock when he needed to. So he could have balls, and he could be very melodic when he wanted to, almost operatic when he wanted to. So not only the quality, just the range of like his range and the range of expressions in his voice. One of my other favorites is Justin Hayward. To me, he's the prototype rock and roll crooner, though he doesn't have the same versatility that Freddie Mercury does. What an amazing voice. That's the Moody Blues, Justin Hayward. And like the Beatles, they were a band that had 4 professional quality lead singers. Like all 4 of them could be lead singers, just like with the Beatles. Anyhow, I'm getting off on my music. Thank you, Lindsay, for that. Me too, and Mary, who is a professional singer. When we teach singing, we teach you how to hum. Great, especially if we are teaching someone brand new or someone recovering from throat damage. That makes sense. With you on Freddie. Good morning, Felicia. Oh, yes, humming is good. What? Something about nitrous oxide. Wait a second. I mean, so melodic when you meditate. Yeah. You hear a type of throat singing Tony when you. Yeah. So I don't know what you call it, but anyway. This is interesting. I practiced with Yogi Bhajan years ago. Oh wow, good for you. So there's a lady that I've studied with, Nidhi Huba, in the Woodstock area, and she lived on and off with Yogi Bhajan for like 8 years, and she had her own style of teaching in Kundalini yoga and everything. Oh, you saw the Moody Blues twice. I am mega jealous. All right, 3-card spread, 3-card Monty coming up. All right, so mixing cards up. So this will pick up on the energies of the week. That's the intention, anyways. All right, so let me clear my mind a second. Yes, Archangel Michael's here. My brother's here because all of a sudden, like, hi, I'm Michael. Okay. Yeah, that's my other brother that passed. Yeah, I have 2 brothers in the spirit world. I know. I look too young for that. I'm just teasing. All right, clearing my mind. Okay. I know I've got there's a 4th card today. I know I've got the right cards when my hand just seems to move on its own. Let me get my clipboard. This is my degree of tech savviness. A lot of YouTubers will have like a split screen or whatever. What does Adam have? He has a clipboard. They're all reversed. Let go. Venus is retrograde. Mars is not retrograde anymore, but it's still stationing, or it's still slow. Mercury, we didn't talk about Mercury yet. Mercury's in its approach to its next retrograde. So when Mercury starts its approach, it basically means it's slowing down, which basically means we're starting to feel that energy of things getting a little bit clogged up with communication, with things of that nature, with electronics and stuff like that. So there's a lot of that, and Spirit's just saying we have a lot to digest, or we as a us humans have a lot to digest now, and that we suggest that you do not goes too deeply down the rabbit holes now. Take a week or at least a few days just to catch up, just to let your energy field, your inner harmonic, since we're talking about music a lot, to catch up with the energies as well as the changes in the world around us. We don't have to fear, that a lot of this is fear tactics. If you understand a thing or two about psychology and how to drive a large group of people like a nation, one of the things that you do is you keep firing controversial and fearful things out one after another so that the people can't catch their breath and they go into that panic fear mode. What happened on January the 21st and 22nd, and what's still happening? Again, I'm not saying anything against Trump or for him. I'm just saying, just to be clear about that. But I do feel like there's an agenda, whatever the case, the two cabals, like Mr. Floyd brought up. We have a group now of millionaires, that are what's the right word? Usurping what we know of as the cabal. Are they part of the main cabal, or are they a separate cabal? That's a really, really good question. I don't have the total answer for that yet, although I'm leaning more towards the latter, but I don't have an answer yet. We have the Two of Pentacles. It's time to make some decisions. I do think this is maybe saying that because this is financial stuff, because it's Pentacles, the wish card reversed. I don't think a lot of everybody's gonna like what unrolls when it comes to tariffs and stuff like that. I mean, I have to say, as a psychic, and obviously I do predictions, sometimes, maybe it's just me, but sometimes the information is just not available. And I think sometimes it has to do with the fact that it's not written in stone yet. It's like there's 2, 3, 4 different countries that are still negotiating things. But it seemed to be leaning towards there being some measure of tariffs. As I'm saying that, I feel like Spears saying it's partly a bluff. It's something that could be enacted and then rescinded, basically. So, look for that possibility as well. I'll say, and so what do you guys say? Oh, the Dead, and I never saw the Steve Miller with the Dead. I saw Bob Dylan one time was there, and they all did Everybody Must Get Stoned. What's Rainy Day Women? Neil, Cowboy Neil at the wheel, right? Neil Cassidy, unless you're talking about a different Neil. um, all right. Anyways, I just figured I just see. Wow, the Dead, Steve Miller, and Sting. Wow, what a great venue. I gather this might be Dead and Company, like post Jerry Dead, but I could be wrong. Oh, Neil Big Dead. Okay, different Neil, not Cowboy Neil. At the wheel to a bus to Neverland. For the deadheads out there. So let's see what else. I mean, that's kind of, I think, the main information. I mean, the cards feel a little less intense than they did last week at Tarot Time. It almost feels like a lot of us just need to purge. If you're upset, even sometimes when we're really angry, we're kind of masking really being depressed and upset. So once the anger fades, then the crying may start. Basically, as an empathic person, I mean, I'll put it this way. I understand that the whole king caboodle's got to come down in order to rebuild on a stronger foundation. But my heart goes out to those individuals and those groups that are affected by the changes, especially in the financial sector, that those that rely on Medicaid, for example. Now, I'm just using this as an example because until it happens, it hasn't happened yet, as far as deep cuts into Medicaid or whatever. But we're all, from what I understand, they're already feeling the pinch and rising costs of their medicines and stuff like that. But anyway, people that are harmed, again, there's a lot of natural disasters, there's a lot of war going on. We only see maybe 5% of the war that's going on. And I feel like Spears saying 5%, huh? Are you kidding me? Try 0.5%. But whatever the case, there's wars in Africa, there's wars in South America, there's wars behind the wars. It's the whole, the energies, basically the frequencies are very strong. They keep getting stronger, and just cosmic frequencies, just a natural evolution that we're in. And they affect the earth. They create more movement and energy in the earth, and that releases some of the trapped karma. And a lot of it is fear and anger and aggression over thousands of years that have happened. You know, whole countries and societies being conquered and tortured, and all that's getting suppressed. And as the energy acts, it's got to release that. It can't stay in the earth field because the new frequencies that we're coming into new earth don't support those old frequencies. So it's got to come out. And unfortunately, people do suffer and changes do happen. And people like Donald Trump are the catalysts of the change, basically. Love him or hate him. This has been the mantra on the Medium channel forever, that love him or hate him. This is the figure that comes in and blows it all down, basically. It's the agent of change. And so I think what it's saying, because there's a lot of retrograde energy, this is time to go within, double down on your meditation, your spiritual practices. Don't be afraid to spend money. Some of you may get some surprise money. It's interesting. I talked about the stimulus proposals back in, I guess, January, when they did the February. Before that was even out on the news. And I swear, I can't remember and think of everything. I swear, in two separate predictions for March, I didn't breathe a word about stimulus packages, but that's on the table now. And I think that's going to be underwhelming also. And I think what they're looking at, I didn't talk a lot about Elon Musk also, but obviously he's a central figure as well. And I feel like they're saying, Doge is a show. The spirit's talking to me. The Doge is a show, basically. They have their agendas. Or let me rescind that for a second. Not so much a show, but a premeditated thing. That it was all like lined up, and including the media coverage of it. It was all planned in order. Again, a lot of shock, a lot of fear. When people are afraid, they're more easy to control, basically. But I feel like they're saying, but part of it is, it's Mr. Floyd saying this new cabal or this other cabal to leverage more power and control also, because I do believe in my heart, people like Donald Trump, people like Elon Musk, very much in their ego, very, very much, narcissistic. I get it or whatever, but I feel like they do want to create change. They do want to create more freedom in our country and in the world, but they also want to see their names and lights as the ones that changed the world and helped humanity, basically. So that's my belief, my opinion. That's all. And if your opinions are different, you're welcome to politely state them. We encourage critical thinking, positive debate. We encourage that here. Intuition, combining intuition and critical thinking is a formula that I abide by, that I think is important for everybody, basically. So Yeah, I think I'm going to move on to other divination. Oh, there's a fourth card. Okay, this fourth card is another card of letting go. Basically, it's the Ten of Wands. It's all reversed today. It's all like the burdens on your shoulders. Let it. They're not your burden. You're taking it on. Basically, that's what I'm hearing as I'm talking. So, so for some of you, this may tap into your personal life. You've had to take on additional responsibility for others. Well, sometimes it can't be avoided. If you have an ill family member, you do what you have to do. But discern what responsibilities are appropriate versus what you may be taking on because you feel upset and you want to make a difference. By the way, at 12:12, I know I said this in the beginning, the upload of channel messages are coming on, and they explain very well, very succinctly how to take action in today's world with all these changes and how not to take action, basically. So I'll leave it at that because it's a very good message. I listened to and I listened to again, and I even got chills, and there's a message that came through me. So it's only 5 minutes long, very, very brief. So again, letting go of that 10 and wands can also be government. So, I think we do see obviously a lot of pushback with what's going on. I think things tend to get modified. So I think, the big bad wolf or the big bad coyote, as the case may be. Anybody else into Native American spirituality? The coyote aligns with the planet Mercury that's going to go retrograde very soon. The cosmic trickster, but it's not a negative thing because the tricksters trick us into learning. So I swear Donald Trump even looks like a freaking coyote, and it's not a criticism. It's not a knock on him, but all the stuff that's going on, it's going to force people into changing their perspective, to doing more research, understanding themselves, their country, and their world more, so that they can grow and be empowered. So there's even if you hate the man and hate what's going on, understand. At least this is my perspective and what I'm picking up intuitively. Understand that from a cosmic perspective, there's no coincidences that this figure was put into this place. Of course, he did a lot of that on his own. I get that, but in order to assist in this stage of the awakening, and sometimes we have to be tricked in order to get it. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. 53 watching, 42 likes. Not bad, not bad. Good percentage. If anybody wants to like this video, if you like it, please. I'm just peeking at the comment. Red Rocks, yes, Mr. Floyd. Yeah, I've never been out there. I still want. It may not happen this spring because I've got a lot of obligations going on, but soon I want to get out to Colorado and visit you guys there. I wanted to. Usually, a Heyoke is a wise trickster. Thank you. Yeah. So obviously, Christine knows a thing or two about what we're talking about here. The wise trickster. Yeah. Hey, the one thing that made me give Donald Trump a second look in the 90s, because I didn't like him, because I lived in New York. One of my clients, an artist, was commissioned by Ivana. That was his wife's name at the time. That was Ivana, right? I can't keep track. To do portraits, and couple of things. One, just to his credit, for people that are really the homophobic bandwagon or whatever. This is a gay artist. And basically, he's in spirit now, and basically he told me, he's saying one thing I have to. He didn't like Donald Trump either, but he said one thing I have to give him credit for is that when I met him, I'm openly gay. He shook my hand. He was always very respectful. Every time I came, he always said hello, basically. So I have to give credit where credit is due. But I saw him on Larry King one time, and some of you know the story. And I was just watching, and Larry just said, "So what do you owe your success?" I mean, he didn't mention, his family or whatever, but that's beside the point. But what he said is, I trust my gut. And I was like, wow, I like that he trusts his intuition. I like him. Well, I didn't say I like him. I liked that, basically. I was around with the Trump Tower. I got news of like some of the scandals with the college and everything before that was out, because apparently Ivana would spew the dirt about Donald when he was doing the work for him, including the fact that he, according to her anyway, and him, that he wasn't always faithful. We'll put it that way. But anyway, so I just figured I'd mention that. So if Don lacks wisdom, but good that he has a mentor if he lacks wisdom, right? Needs something. Yeah, again, I'm not defending Trump at all. I already disclosed that I'm a Libra. We tend to see things from the middle point of view. There's more than one side to the story. That's all that I'm saying, basically. I don't condone any acts that are going to hurt people, but I don't believe that the end justifies the means. But there's exceptions to every rule, also, right? So that's all I have to say. Let's move on to some other divination. Let's do some. We're talking about Native American. Well, first I have the Native American Tarot. I think I have that. I do. So I get another card. No longer his mentor. Could he passive aids? Basically, that's interesting because basically, I mean, there's probably more to the AIDS story that meets the eye, and there's a lot of potential conspiracies around that. But usually, it's from gay men, right? And or IV drug use, basically, and it's interesting that somebody that passed from AIDS, although I feel like spirits, oh no, it can come through it can come through a lot of ways. All right, cancel, delete that thought. My guides are talking to me today. Thank you so much. I was about to stick my foot in my mouth. I started to, and they stopped me before I got the big toe in between my teeth. So that was good. Thank you. We'll just saying, right? Just saying. Oh, so somebody's moving. All right. Okay, cool. Let me the Scout, which looks like the four of, what are hatchets? Probably swords. Interesting. The four, is Uranus energy. That's evolution, revolution. There is a revolution that's happening, mostly underground. We don't see it, and it's going to build steam in March and April. We'll probably hear that there is actually some revolutionary activity and more protests and stuff like that. But the train's coming. What do we have? A herd of buffalo, and they almost look like elephants. They got to be bison if this is the native tarot. And basically, the train, it looks like it's chasing the bison. The train could be symbolic of the settlers from the East, the European settlers moving out west and stuff like that. And he's kind of looking. So basically, what does it mean to be a scout? It's like we're observing, be in observer mode, basically. When we're in reactionary mode, we miss what's going on because we're looking at things from a slanted perspective when we're in reactionary mode based on whatever our programming or belief is. But if we can just take it all in, then we get a much more of a holistic view of things, basically. So I think he's just watching, and he's gonna just let everybody know this is what's going on here, basically. So be the observer. Try to stay out of reaction, and then you'll get messages from spirit just by not reacting, but letting higher messages come in and come through. I know, he's shocking, isn't it? We like to laugh around here also. All right. Speaking of Native American, let's do our totem animal too. It's from the medicine cards. So this is gonna. There's some South American, like I think jaguars in here, and so, but it's mostly North American animals because it's North American indigenous people that this deck honors the medicine cards. All right. Let me clear my mind and ask give us the right message to the animals for this week. Alligator. Was I just singing alligator from the Grateful Dead or no, I'm singing something else. Alligator. Well, alligators have tough skin, but they have very soft underbellies. I don't know what this means in the Native Americans, but I can tell you, they like the frog. They're dwellers in two domains: the realm of water, which is emotion and feeling; the realm of earth, which is our physical lives. And they can bring messages, but and they're also very yeah, they're not clumsy on land. I'll put it that way. They're very dexterous. I'm mispronouncing that word. They have a lot of dexterity, and I learned that in Florida when I was driving down. I think it was Route 4 or no, it wasn't Route 4, but I was near Disney World. And then there's an alligator, and I stayed close to my car, and I got out because I wanted to get a close up. And then this alligator, all of a sudden, it spun its head around, and it just made this amazing move, and it saw me. And I was in that car like that, so I got that. Let me see what the book is saying about alligator to breathe. All right, maybe strength, wisdom. I could see that. Yeah. Good call there, Laura. Thank you. And alligators key 50. So originally the medicine cards were 44 cards based on the 44 medicine shields of the plains people. And then they added a few more. So there's over 50 now. So they made a revision at salmon. All right. In integration, that's I don't have to show you the book. Integration, that's an interesting thing. The powerful gift of alligator medicine is to fully appreciate and integrate all that life offers. Gator shows us the value of thoroughly digesting both the pleasures and pains of life in many ways. Alligator's medicine is reflected in its behavior. When gator rolls under the water with its prey, it's massaging to roll with the punches when being attacked by life circumstances, carefully storing its prey under lock until the meat is tender, teaches us about patience and proper timing. Interesting. And what else is saying? So alligator, come on, my. Yeah, one time, my first wife actually. We were down in Florida, and so we're down in Florida, and we camped out in the very west of Alligator Alley, and we got to see real American crocodiles, which only live in that area, only in the brackish waters in the western edge of Alligator Alley. So you remind me of that. No television. I haven't put my television on for very long time. All right, so moving right along, interesting perspective on alligator. Thank you. Somebody else had something to say about alligator. That's fine. Thank you. I'll survive winter freeze by. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that in the winter in Florida. I lived in a place. It was in Central Florida, but it's south of Kissimmee, and it was very rural. Like alligators would come on the road, and I would see them in the winter in the ponds doing exactly what you're saying. Yeah. So the native people observed the animals, and they got the messages through their behavior and tendencies, and recognized that we are connected to all the animals. They're all part of us, and we all have different natures. Basically, like I'm a hawk person. That's my main totem, and Yeah, my profile, it almost looks a little bit hawk-like, in a way, if you use your imagination a little bit anyways. Tasted just like chicken, only different. Yeah, that they say rattlesnake is tender also, but I've never tried that either. All right, we got Moonology next. Right. So give us a message based on lunar cycles. So we just had we're still in the new moon phase, although the moon went into Aries, or it's going to Aries today, one or the other. I didn't check my ephemeris. We're still in the new moon. It feels like it's in Aries because it feels like that Pisces kind of dreamy, heavy energy lifted last night. So I think the moon went into Aries. Oh, geez, this is the card. Ta-da! A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. So I think. Oh, you know what? I think what they're saying is that the next week or two, we're going to see a very fiery climax. What did it come to? Tariffs or yeah, I'm sorry to keep talking about the world governments and all, but it's affecting us. Tariffs, Zelensky meeting, all the stuff that's going on. So we may see some more fireworks. So heads up. And interesting, full moon in Aries. Well, the moon isn't full, but it's in Aries, so we may even see this in the next 2 days, like tomorrow, Tuesday, basically. With Jamaican seasoning, how could you go wrong, right, Colleen? How could you go wrong? Yeah, there's been two smaller eagles. I've seen them twice now. Not adolescents because they had their bald eagle colored. Adolescent eagles have different colors. So they might be older adolescents or just, I don't know, they were smaller. And then I saw a huge one also. So I somewhere around me, I have an eagle's nest. Maybe I'll trudge around the woods a little bit and see if I can find it. Well, this is your message then, now, isn't it? What are we talking about? Popcorn. Enjoy the show, right? Just like a televised sensitive meeting between two prominent world leaders on television with the media there, and people are going to say that wasn't for show. Then the old alligator movie still has me scared. Oh yeah. That's a powerful totem. Coyotes are revered. Yeah, they have a negative reputation because they're the tricksters. But we explain, the Heoke trickster, right? The Heoke coyote is wisdom. Hide this comment. I'd be there in a heartbeat. I want to do that. I had a wolf visit me 4 years ago. Was it 5? No, 5 years ago, because it was my old dwelling. Male lone wolf came to visit. I thought it was a husky. I saw it coming out of the window. I thought it was a husky at first. And then when we looked at it, legs were long. The wolf, wolves have a different shape of their face. The wolf got so close to me, I thought it wanted me to pet him. I swear I didn't, because I respect still a wild animal. I looked for a tag. The fur was very matted. It was in February, and this wolf had meat on its bones. It was getting food from somewhere. And then it visited me a second time when I was on my creek, on the creek. It wasn't my creek, but it ran in back of my property. And I felt the presence, and I looked up, and on top of the hill, on top of the rocks, the wolf was staring right at me. So it's like, I have a new totem. And then I have a client that worked for the Department of DEC, and I showed him the photo that I got, and he said that's a wolf, and he said that I think it was African gray. He said that around 2010 that they released a small number of African gray wolves into the Catskills, to try to slowly repopulate. So that's interesting. Yeah, Dogman, Wolfman, yeah, Wolfman, yeah. You don't want to visit me during the full moon. Oh. All right. So what's next? Let's do. We just did Moonology. So, oh, here it is. I said I know I have the Isis Oracle deck somewhere. I have a certain lineup that we do. A lot of these were gifts from you guys. So I thank you for that. Coyotes are survivors. Indeed, they are. Yeah. I totally see that. Yeah. I'm not gonna we'll be here all day if I keep sharing all my stories. I'm not gonna share my Sasquatch story today, but I had a very profound encounter in the Sierra Nevadas when I was camping out for a full summer there. Um Nobody's gonna tell me they're not real. I'll just put it to you that way. Um well, they can tell me, but I'm not gonna believe them. All right, let me clear my mind. Here we go. So what we got is Mother of Life. So this is what it looks like with a big Ankh and Isis wings. An Ankh is a symbol of life, life everlasting. Nourishment of the golden grain mother. So golden grain mother. So let's get nourished. So another thing that I kind of regret a little bit that I didn't mention enough of it is RFK Jr. in my psychic forecast, because again, love him or hate him, the initiative is to make our foods better. We're not eating that golden grain. We're eating processed, hybridized wheat. Well, I'm not eating hybridized wheat. I don't eat any wheat. But we're eating heavily processed foods if we're not careful about our diets, basically. So they're going to try to change that, which is great. Take the good with the bad with the ugly, right? Depending on your perspective. Maybe there's nothing bad or ugly, but nourishment. But this goes into spiritual nourishment also, not physical nourishment. So anyway, good message there. Hold that for a second. You may get your own message just through the imagery. That happens sometimes also. Oh yeah, I love the Sierras. Yeah, we were just east of Placerville, old Hangtown. So we weren't in the high Sierra. We were about 4,000 feet. Yeah, but I had a bicycle also. I rode up. I saw a golden eagle in the high country of the Sierras. Yeah, one time it was in August. I took my bike. Yeah, that was a tough ride to get from 4,000 to 9 or 10,000 feet. That was a tough bike ride, but I was in good shape then. We were doing a lot of hiking. Also, so I took my bike. I camped out. I took my tent, my pub tent. I went up and I stopped my bike for a minute. I think I grabbed lunch or something, and then thunderous flapping. This huge freaking golden eagle just came, just flew out of the woods basically. And it was freezing. OMG, it was August, and I had my little thermometer, and it got down to 34 degrees where I camped out. I was like, like that all night. But anyway, moving right along. Frequency of the week. Anybody want to sing What's the Frequency, Kenneth? I'm not going to do it now. For the REM fans out there, about the infamous Stan Rather incident. What's the frequency, Kenneth? All right, clearing my mind. Burger King. Oh, Burger King. What? Oh, you have a Hawk Millie? Nice. Very good. We got the beat. We got the beat. We got the beat. Yeah. All right. Clearing mind. So this is Sacred Geometry deck. Right here. Pulled it. And we got Perception. 35. Right? Perception is everything. There's a Native American teaching around that, the medicine wheel teaching. If I put a feather in the center of the medicine wheel, and I'm sitting at the north and you're sitting at the east, to me the feather might look elongated, to you might look flat and wide, but it's the same feather we're seeing. We're just seeing it from a different perspective. And that goes double for programming, how we're programmed, because we're all programmed. We may be positively programmed, we may have programmed ourselves, but we're all programmed. That's our perspective. So we have to be open to other people's perspective, not just shoot them down because they differ from their own. Because remember, they're sitting at a different point of the medicine wheel, and their perspective is valid to them, even if it's not to you. So we can learn from each other's perspectives, right? So what are they saying about the sacred geometry? The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it all. Love that message. And you can get your own message just by gazing at the center of the sacred geometry for a moment and blending with it energetically and see what messages that you get for a second. I love the wheel. Thanks. I was going to call you Jared. Thanks, Josh, for posting that. I wish I'd seen the police. If for nothing else, to just watch Stuart Copeland to work his magic, the drummer for the police. If just for that, I remember when I saw Rush in the early '90s, and basically my jaw was just dropped for 2 hours just watching Neil Peart do his thing with his drum set that's about as big as my living room. All right, yeah, I told you guys we like to talk about music around here. It's a reflection of me, obviously. So we have a Kyle Gray deck. I think I have two of them. I think this one's the Divine Masters Oracle. I think we're about done. We just have an angel message, and for an hour and 6 minutes. So try to keep it to an hour, but we don't. If the thunder don't get you, the lightning will. So that small wheel turns at the. I forgot that line. I like that line. The big wheel moves by the grace of God. Something about you're bound to cover a little bit more ground. I can't think of the lyrics to this one, but that's the wheel. It's actually a Jerry Garcia tune, but the Dead did it regularly in their concerts also, or the Jerry Garcia band song originally. All right, clearing mind. Let me ask the Divine Man. They show me a big Ace of Cups. So somebody may be having a new romance, a new beginning that brings happiness, a baby, a pregnancy. But the Ace of Cups has a symbol with all the light coming out of it. Very hopeful. I just think there's going to be, amidst all the challenge and all the strife that's going on in the world, I just think there's going to be so much awakening. And they show me not next week, but as time goes on, almost like a renaissance with art and music and stuff like that, and people really starting to really like it gaining more appreciation. Basically, I mean, this has just popped into my mind. We'll see. Let me clear this mind for a moment. Here we go. I found my card. Guru Ram Das. Did we just talk about Guru Ram Das at the beginning, early on, when we were talking about Yogi Bhajan? Because Yogi Bhajan channeled Guru Ram Das and brought Kundalini Yoga to the West. At least that's the story I understand. That's Ram Das with one S, not two S's, not Richard Alpert, who became Ram Das, who passed on me. I love that Ram Das also, to be clear. But this is the Indian Sikh from what, the 1800s, was he? And anyway, miraculous moment, harmony surround you, expect miracles. I've heard Ram Dass being called to bring your miracles before. So anyhow, there's Guru Ram Dass, and there's your message from the Divine Oracle. He's just glowing in my mind. I love the Vedics, the Vedic work. Yeah. Harmony, expect miracles. Yeah, we are a miracle. I need a miracle every day. But we are miracles. Every day we do get to witness so many miracles. Yeah, be here now, right? Grist for the Mill. What was the other book? Oh, Journey of Awakening. So maybe that's your message then. Congratulations to your niece. You are a miracle. Yes, you are. 11:11 in Central Time now. Nice. What are you saying about French fries? Wait a second. Oh, I saw something about French fry. I don't know where that comment went. All right, anyway. To laugh. Are the French fries amazing? Did French fries? I missed something here. All right. I obviously I missed something. Anyway, let's finish up. So this is messages from the angels. Let's get a quick angel message. Good. I'm glad that there's others here. I love that book, Be Here Now. I really did. You know, presence is like any other spiritual person. Presence is like a mantra, an important thing. So be here now. Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, all great teachings. So, anyways, this is the card that you want, and this is Archangel Gabriel, the awakener, right? Gabriel blows his horn and awakens the masses, also communication. So you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Just talked about the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. I think the message around that is for us to be more, I don't know if respectful is the right word, because most of us are, but more engaged or more understanding the power of art, which music is art also. All forms of art, because this is the gift from spirit. This is our expression. When we are doing art, and that this could be, I sing and I drum. I'm not professional at either, but I do that. I don't draw. If I did, I'd draw stick figures. But you know what? It's still art, no matter what. And when you're engaged in art, you're basically channeling, because what does God's spirit or source do? It creates. What do you do when you do art? Writing too. You're creating something. So it's really during these times where a lot of attacks are happening against spirituality, and there's so much stress in the world that gets us in those survival emotions. When we're in survival mode, we separate from our own divinity, basically. There's so much pressure to be in those lower emotions. Do more art and creativity. That's going to bring you back into those high vibes. That's going to bring you back in touch with your divinity. That's what we need. So that's a good closing message. Music is life. And in the words of the great Jerry Garcia, late and great, no matter what you're feeling, music will always make you feel better. Is that a good note to end on? Note. All right. So I don't think I have. I mean, we may do a live stream. I may do, depending on what goes on, I may do one evening. I may do like a group prayer or something. But we're taking a little break from live streams. We had so many last week. I think I'm going to do an extraterrestrial contact video for Thursday, and we have Power Attunements Plus is coming. So that's a very powerful way of connecting with spirit, God, or source, increasing your energy in order to heal and in order to constantly manifest your reality. And I've had several people tell me that it's the best program of its kind. So I believe it. Of course, I created it. So we're doing a 4-part course starting this Thursday. It's priced down, plus there's a free gift. So I'll leave information for that. And then Channeling Mediumship Retreat is April 11th to 13th. So we're going to do an intensive on developing the ability to communicate with those that have crossed over, the spirit guides, ascended masters, angels, as well as trance healing and spirit art. So we're going to cover mediumship and channeling. And by the time you're done, you will be a good medium in a channel. I've done this before, but now I even know more. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Hang in there, and we'll see you soon.